mean, what is there to say besides we're going to Sundance?
Wait, by the time this comes out, I think it'll be after we went to Sundance.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna manifest.
Yeah.
We're gonna get the energy going. I have a giant block of Sisters Who've Seen It business cards. We're gonna explode them everywhere.
Woo!
I did that last year. I threw it all into the bathroom of the Egyptian Theater. We're gonna do social media updates. We're seeing technically 3 films, but bought tickets for 4.
Yeah.
We might possibly go to talks of like cool directors and famous actors.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be freaking great.
I can't wait. I'm excited. Planning my outfits.
Oh,
they're not that fancy. I don't know why.
I was gonna say,
but
I'm finding my like final packing space. So if I should bring a better outfit,
I just meant more like I'm gonna wear jeans, and I'm like, when was the last time I wore those bad boys?
Oh, I know. Well, and I think I told you last time that you have like hilarious fancy people that wear like every furry white vest you've ever seen, and then every dude wears like a vest, like a puffer vest with plaid, and then like a hat. I'm like, is this the Utah code for Sundance?
I do have like a white Sherpa vest, so maybe I'll,
if you want,
bring one and blend in with the crowd. I don't know. I think they'll figure out pretty quickly. I'm probably from Jersey, so we'll see. But I am so excited. It's so soon.
Should we give a teaser to the movies we're seeing, or we'll do that all when we get back?
I think we should do it when we get back.
All right.
Y'all be surprised.
There's drama, there's romance, there's like docuseries. Oh, drugs. Okay.
Mm-hmm, right?
Yeah.
In one of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be fun.
I can't wait.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop. Sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Hiya there.
What are they? Oh, Tay. Hiya, pal. I feel like they said
Hiya,
that.
pal.
That a lot. Which also is said in the Home Alone movies by Joe Pesci's character, where he's like, hiya, pal, and it's scary. So, I don't know. My brain thought of that. But welcome back, listeners.
Welcome back.
Welcome. I'm going to introduce ourselves because we are not Little Rascals. Okay. But we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where 2 sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And men, can I get what is it? Ooga. Wait, but
we have to say it like Froggy.
Ooga.
Hi, man. We got an ooga.
Ooga.
Every time that kid spoke, I was like, someone give him a lozenger. I mean,
and a haircut, please. I'm upset about it. Bridge, what's the movie this week?
It is the 1994, I guess, homage to the original series, The Little Rascals. It has all the same I think that was probably 1920s, 30s that series went on, where they took all the main characters, but they package it up into a movie in more present day. However, they dress like they're from the 30s.
You know, they do. They sure do.
That's another story. And I know that it's your synopsis, Kate, right?
Okay.
So I got right.
It is. And I
do you need a kickoff?
I want the one sentence, please.
I did not pre-read this.
Buckwheat? I got a synopsis.
Hey, when lovesick Alfalfa attempts to woo his crush Darla, a jealous Spanky and his clubhouse gang try to sabotage their relationship. That sounds like a drag queen show drama. Right?
Okay. Who in the world has a Little Rascals drag queen show? I want to go see it right now. The Alfalfa, I know the Alfalfa one would slay.
Holy shit, that's so funny.
Jesus Christ.
Also, while you keep thinking of this, these actors, they're 5 years old. They're 6 years old.
Oh my God.
So, Alfalfa was one of the oldest at 9.
Wow.
We got 7-year-olds. We have 4-year-olds. Two buckwheats. Oh no, buckwheat was 6 and
Wasn't
Porky was 4.
Was little? He seemed little.
Was 4. One of them was 10. I mean, wow. Child actors, Kate, take it away.
Okay, well, first and foremost, I think I want to say that I've always loved this movie. Yeah. And even now, at my current age in my 30s, I still like this movie.
Hey!
It's so much fun. You know, it's a good palate cleanser coming out of murderous aliens in the Arctic, you know? So that's great. But yes, we do have Little Rascals. There's a crew. I'll go through them.
Oh.
We got Spanky. Rough nickname. Not sure how we got the nickname. Maybe it's not even a nickname and their parents named them that.
I mean, ask the 1930s.
Nobody knows the answer, but he's Spanky. He's like the leader of the group. Sure. He's best friends with Alfalfa. And yes, Alfalfa is in love with Darla. And they're all like under 7. So just to get the context of what's going on. And basically, yeah, like the one sentence said, the plot kind of kicks off because Spanky and a lot of their other friends, Alfalfa, we got Stymie. I have a lot of great things to say about Stymie. We'll get into it. Porky, Buckwheat, Froggy. I can't think of anyone else right now, but that's who I got. All these little boys. They're part of the He-Man Woman Haters Club, Bridge.
Do you think this
exist? And
wait, is
it in the House of Representatives right now? Okay.
Wait, is this how early patriarchy starts?
Is this how
old?
the little 4-year-olds are getting recruited? Andrew Tate's the president. I'm afraid.
He's funding the clubhouse.
Oh God, help us all. You know what? And that's why I was kind of like, Darla, good for fucking you for burning down the clubhouse. Okay, sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Alfalfa's trying to date Darla, and then basically all the boys are like, oh my God, this is gross. We got to sabotage. And Alfalfa's like, let's have a date at the clubhouse. The boys are all going to be at the swimming hole. By the way, we're in LA, so I'm nervous about where they're going to be swimming, but we get over it because it's based on the 30s. And all of the other little boys, with Spanky being the leader, sabotage the date, and you're like, LOL, hi-jinx, except, then a fire starts. And their clubhouse gets burned down, which is maybe a little bit of a bigger problem in their lives than who Alfalfa's dating. I don't know. Just saying. Priorities. So now this is the plot. The plot is we gotta get money to build a new clubhouse. So the Little Rascals are kind of doing little things to try to get that, but at the same time they're like, you're in the doghouse, Alfalfa, and you can't speak to Darla unless, if you're gonna be at our club and our friend, you gotta stay away. And then he's like, oh, shucks. But he doesn't stay away. And so it's a lot of I'm going to secretly try to get Darla back or whatever. And then the other boys are going through hijinks trying to get money. And it's kind of overlapping. Also, there's a go-kart race because children. And there's also there's 2 bullies. I have to look up their names because one of them is named Loin.
Butch.
Like a loin.
I think it's
meat.
Woim.
Woim?
It says WOIM. Don't ask me to pronounce
It's a little better than loin, but okay. So that's stuff. And then there's also another new bully who's a rich kid bully named Waldo, who's also into Darla because this is soap opera drama now with the 7-year-olds. And then in the end, after a lot of ups and downs, and we're not friends, but 1 hour later we're friends, it's very children. Everybody comes together. They win back the money in the go-kart race, and Spanky and Alfalfa have a come to Jesus moment where Alfalfa says, I like girls, and it's probably gonna get worse, so you're gonna have to get over it. Spanky's like, all right, we'll let women into the He-Man Woman Haters Club, and that's how it ends. and then everybody's happy, apparently. So.
And the sign, I just want to let you know the branding stayed He-Man Woman Haters Club.
Women,
apostrophe, women now allowed. I was
amazing.
like, well, okay. Little baby steps, baby steps.
Oh, God, it's so real.
That was great. That was great.
So much.
Wow, that was quick.
Woo! I mean, this is not a long movie. This was an hour, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it was honestly, when I was watching it, I was like, this wasn't a bad plot.
No, it's not. It's like
there's not a lot of plot holes.
No.
There's purpose. You're kind of like, all right, and it moved quickly.
Little kids doing kid jokes, and I love it. And honestly, I'm not kidding you. Watching by myself, obviously with Bear next to me, I was laughing out loud at a lot of parts and lines.
I cannot wait to talk about them.
The lines get me. The lines were getting me. Oh my God.
And when you really understand their ages, they were good. I mean, I know you can't really judge like a kid actor to be like good acting, but I was impressed.
No,
and
I think they did a good job acting.
And I loved at the end they showed the clips.
Oh my God, the little bloopers.
The bloopers of the kids,
cute.
and like one of them with Darla, they're like, "Stop looking at the camera! Stop looking at the camera! Stop looking at the." I was like, "Let Darla break the fourth wall.
Let Darla be a child." She doesn't know. She doesn't know what she doesn't know.
But you gotta figure like that's probably hard to do, and the choice to make them dressed as if they're in the 30s, but like location and just atmosphere is present day. I was like, who made that decision?
Yeah. I also thought it was funny how they updated, because I'm pretty sure like we used to have videotapes of like the old school Little Rascals show.
Oh yeah.
When it was black and white, and still honestly like pretty funny. And I'm sure if I watched those again, I would maybe giggle.
Yeah, they're a little like, you're like, oh, that's racist, or that's not good, or but I thought this version was like much more nuanced with, we're just kids. We're not gonna bring in the olds. Besides the Women Haters Club, you're like, oh.
But wasn't the original story with the Little Rascals is they were all like orphan children? Wasn't that like, or am I making that up?
I don't know. I
thought they were like all orphans, and then in this movie they're like, no, we have moms. Don't worry, we have roofs over our heads. And I was like, oh, okay.
Well,
thanks
all
for
we
clarifying.
know is Alfalfa's dad is a bigger version of him, and Spanky's dad is a bigger version of him.
I don't. What does that say about Darla and the rest? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yes. Well, Bridge, we start off with Spanky doing the 90s version of a text message, which is writing a note and attaching it to your dog's collar, and the dog runs around town to find your friends. And you know what? You got to give credit where credit's due. That dog was well trained. All right.
Petey was a rock star.
Yeah.
As far as like a club dog mascot, pretty amazing.
Pretty cool. He was a dude, so he, hated the women, I guess. Who knows? The dog women, we don't know. And basically Spanky's like, hey guys, we're all having a meeting like at the clubhouse, get on down. And I was like, isn't there a schedule? Okay, fine, it's fucking fine,
it.
drop what you're doing. Stymie abandons a baseball game because he's like, I gotta go to the meeting.
After he catches the fly ball in his cap.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you knew he was a badass.
Yeah, I freaking love Stymie. I also love Porky and Buckwheat, which definitely are the youngest. They're like, what'd you say, 4?
Porky was 4 at the time, and Stymie was 6.
How old was Buckwheat? Because Buckwheat was his friend.
I'm sorry, Buckwheat was 6.
Oh.
Porky was 4.
Yeah.
Stymie was older. I also lost that link, so now I don't know.
Okay, well, I was just wondering.
But I think majority was like under 7. That's probably a good way to think of it. And the few that seemed older were in the 9s and 10s. Should we also do like a quick explanation of all the like cameos, or do they just come up when we get to the part?
I think they're gonna come up.
Because one of them traumatized me.
Well, me as well. And I was like,
okay.
Of course you're in a movie with He-Man Woman Haters Club. But also then immediately after, almost each time, we got to see Whoopi Goldberg. So I was like, thank God, movie.
Thank God.
Because, yes, we need to get that. All right, so they're having a meeting, and we see all the little boys coming up, and Froggy, who is a kid with a mullet,
a really great mullet.
Does need a cough drop. Is being the bouncer, which is amazing. And they got to give the high sign.
Hey, you got to give the high sign to get in. He literally sounded like he smoked a pack of cigarettes. I was like, how does he do that? How did he do that?
I don't know, but he did.
I'm going to Google it.
And then, we start off the meeting. And Spanky starts off by saying, gentlemen and gentlemen. The writing is amazing. The writing's amazing. I don't know what else to say. This should have won an Oscar.
It's amazing because the kids spoke slow, which gave you like 1920s, 30s vibe, but they were also kids, so it fit perfect. So the lines had to land well. They couldn't explain a lot.
Yep.
That made it just like, perfect.
They start off their meetings. Spanky goes, before we get started on business, does anyone have like a story? And then they proceed to talk about like women hating stories, which I was like, oh no, again, is this our government? Is this Twitter? Is this just, normal day on the sidewalk? Jesus. And Froggy goes, this new girl moved down the street and she came over because she wanted to play. And they're like, ew. And then they're like, what'd you do? And he goes, I whipped out my lizard. But it's a real lizard, guys. Thank God, because I got nervous.
They did.
Amazing.
There was no inappropriate jokes. I did not like go through this movie and be like, oh, that was bad. But they kept even the like, oh, she wanted to play. Ew. Or she smells weird. Ew. It was so innocent, that it kind of was funny.
And then immediately they're like, we have priorities as 5-year-olds. It's about our go-kart race. And we have a like professional level go-kart, by the way. Minimum $2,000 worth. Like, I don't know where we got that
more
from.
Than my car. At least $35,000 with today's inflation.
I would drive the Blur around, which is a great race car name, by the way. Missed opportunity, real life.
I understand why the bullies ended up stealing their car, because they're like, why would we try to compete? We're gonna just steal it.
Stymie goes, the Blur has never been beaten since the beginning of time. 5 years. It's just so fucking good. And then this is where Spanky's like, hey, where's Alfalfa? And
because Alfalfa got picked to drive it.
Oh, that was,
and they do a basically like random raffle picking. Yeah. And they're like, this year's driver is my bestest pal, Alfalfa. And everyone's like, where is he? And then it cuts to him singing to Darla.
You are
so beautiful.
Who let these kids on a boat? Question number 1.
Oh my God.
Question number 2, where are the adults? Question number 3, Darla is the real MVP because she does the real talk. She gets right into like, how can you love me when you're part of the He-Man Woman Haters Club, bitch?
Oh
and I'm like, that's fucking right, Darla. You call him out on his goddamn misogyny. Call it out now when you're 6, because it's not going to get better as you get older, trust me. Oh, dear.
Darla right now is 34 years old.
Oh, so...
Yo, looking at these actors and how they aged, wild.
Really?
I mean, she has the same little Darla face, but like, it's so weird. You're like, but you're little Darla.
Little Darla, I hope you're feminist.
There's a little bit with her voice that she like uses her head a lot when she talks, and you're like, okay, she's 4. It takes a little getting used to. At first. Like, you have to really, like, listen, and then you kind of dig it. But she was, I don't know, like, she was pretty freaking cool character.
I thought she was great. Great representation for women.
She called him out.
4-year-old women,
She called him out. She was like, she said that some other guy was hot in front of Alfalfa. She didn't give a shit.
Fucking love it. Date who you want. Date who you want. You're not tied down.
Then, when she fought in the car race, she told Waldo to hit the curve and was still nice to Alfalfa when she could have fucking beat them. Yep. Okay, what a class act Darla is.
She really is. She deserves a humanitarian award or something. So pretty quickly, all the other boys are like, oh my God, gross, they're on a date. And they hear that like, okay, tomorrow Alfalfa's gonna do another date with her in the clubhouse and he's not gonna tell the other boys. So the boys are like, sabotage time.
Which was fun. Which was kind of fun.
I do appreciate the sabotage, but before we get to the sabotage, there's like some stupid, the bullies chase Alfalfa, LOL, silly. And then Alfalfa gets away. He's at Darla, and all of a sudden, a Doberman Pinscher, I appreciate it wasn't a Rottweiler, Doberman Pinscher comes and, like, attacks him, snarling, growling, barking in his face, and then some random adult doesn't help, and it's just like, come here, you silly dog. And then he goes, good dog. Who the fuck was that guy? And why?
A maniac. That's who it was.
Christ. But this was our introduction to Waldo. And Waldo is also an amazing character with amazing lines. And he comes in hot. He hits on Darla. He's like, you're a babe. And screw this loser dude. And she's like, maybe I will.
Katie. This is...
Bridget!
This is Waldo grown up.
Show me a porn website. I'm sweating.
It's his Instagram.
Bridget! This is him?
That's him.
Why is his butt? I don't want to see his butt.
I'm sorry, but it's publicly on the internet. This is him.
Wow, he looks different. But you know what? Without the glasses. Oh my God, look at that.
I mean, he's like fabulous and gay, but like, wow, not the same Waldo we knew.
Okay, we're not.
Actors do not play themselves in this case.
You know, not in that case. Not when you're.
Sorry, I just had to show you that picture.
Okay,
couldn't believe it.
Here's some lines from Waldo that we all need to hear. So he says something about like, oh, blah blah blah. There's a talent show, and Darla's like, yeah, you know, we're gonna sing in it, me and Alfalfa, and then Alfalfa goes, yeah, we're going to sing a duet together, and Waldo goes, how redundant.
And he goes, thank you.
Thank you. Just absolutely.
Well, at first, too, with the Waldo character, you're like, all right, new kid in town, he's fancy, she thinks he's hot,
he's
whatever.
Like rich, too. That's another character
He's
trait.
rich, but like, he wasn't necessarily mean. Like, he was just like, get out of here, Alfalfa, you're like competition.
Yeah.
But by the end of the movie, then he's like mean. He shows his true colors.
He does.
Based on the DNA, makes sense when we get there, folks.
It sure does. I made notes about that. Ugh. So now it's Alfalfa and Darla's date, and yes, there is sabotage. And what is the sabotage? So we get kitty litter in a sandwich.
They put sand in a sandwich. It's actually kitty litter.
That wasn't sand. That was kitty litter.
Then they take an old boot and pour grape soda into it, or a sneaker, and then pour it back out.
Someone's gonna get an infection. This is too far.
Then dessert was okay. They didn't touch the dessert.
Okay.
So, yeah, but honestly, I gotta give this one to Alfalfa. He pulls down like a Murphy-style bed.
Oh my God.
Table.
Amazing.
Candles already lit.
Yeah, that's...
Or ready to be lit.
Yes.
The tablecloth is good. He had all the stuff ready. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, 2023, if some guy asks me on a date, guarantee he's not gonna have picnic stuff.
Yeah, who's opening their wall for me for a table and candles?
Who's taking me to their man-hater women's club and then fighting the patriarchy?
Who's gonna let me bombard them with questions about how they like me but they hate women, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So pretty quickly then, the boys are like, we are done with the pranks. Let's break up this shit. And they try to knock on the door. Alfalfa's like, Darla, you gotta get out of here. And then she's like, you're such a jerk. Blah, blah. So she fucking drives the go-kart through the wall. Again, I don't hate it. She couldn't get out the door. He wasn't letting her out the door. I mean...
And he made her try to hide. She was like... At first I thought like, oh, she could just like drive the hell home. But she was somewhat respectable.
she steals the blur.
She just...
Now it's car theft.
I thought so.
Oh my
God.
God.
Like, she's gonna be out of here. But what was a little like emo of her is then she proceeded to sit on a hill and watch the clubhouse burn. I thought, okay.
I kind of love that. I was like, fucking watch it burn, girl. Watch the woman-hating club burn.
Like, burn.
Would I sit on the hill and watch the woman-hating club burn? Probably. I don't know.
I mean...
There's no people inside, so like nobody's dying.
I don't know.
It's arson, but who cares? You know,
I mean,
that's
she's
my
like,
motto.
my fingerprints are all over it. Then they all of a sudden this is what made the movie so fun, is it realized its silliness. It didn't take itself serious. And then they all wear fire coats and hats.
God.
And Spanky is literally like Harry Potter on the fire hose, flying all around. I laughed so
Quidditch.
hard.
Yep.
But they did the perfect amount of kind of slapstick humor. The one with the buckets, they have the giant full bucket of water. By the time it gets to Froggy at the end, there's like the littlest amount left.
The one kid was like roasting a marshmallow, and Spanky goes, hey, get out of here, pal. Yeah,
and then you're just like the dumb stuff too, where they give him the fire hose from a building, and he's like, "Go, Spanky, run fast!" And then like the other thing, this is what would happen in the TV show, is they would speed up running.
Oh my god, I love the sped up running.
I love the sped up. Someone needs to bring that back.
It's so
he
cute.
starts speeding up, and I think it was Stymie that was like, "Wow, that is fast."
It's like,
you know?
damn. Stymie was like, he had like the Steve Harvey reactions, and I was like, I love him so much. He's the best.
I like just phenomenal timing for some of them.
Yeah.
And so then they're like, Alfalfa, we're so fucking mad at you. Like,
yeah, because there's no
who
clubhouse.
Who do you think you are? You
burned.
ruined our clubhouse. Like, you're the worst.
Well, they have a trial, which is also hysterical, because I'm like, we're having a trial in the ashes. Like, what a metaphor. And Spanky's the judge, and he goes, I sentence you to execution at dawn. And then Bridge, the MVP of the movie, is against Stymie, who steps in and goes, hey, how about instead we just make him have to guard the go-kart? And then everyone's like, oh yeah, that's like more
Day
normal.
and night.
Thanks, Stymie. And they were like, oh, Jesus Christ.
I felt the same way. I was like, well, at least someone is somewhat logical.
Like the voice of reason. Yes.
I kind of love Spanky's, like, that's it. This is my line. I was like, damn, Spanky.
It's like, I met my threshold and now you must die. Yeah. I really love this next part though, which, I mean, so there's like a dream sequence. That's fine. It's Alfalfa's dream
whatever.
Where he's like, the only good line from the dream is where Darla goes, but you're my boy toy. And I was like, LOL. That's so true. But basically he like dies in his dream, whatever. And then when they wake up, and what I love about this part is it's two simultaneous but separate sleepovers. One is all the boys, and one is Darla and all the girls. And they're having like parallel conversations about like, why are boys such jerks? And then the boys like, why are girls so annoying? And I was like, again, is this Twitter right now? Because
the best was the girls were like, boys never listen, and it cuts to the boys and they go, girls always talk. I was like, there we go. That's the problem, patriarchy. We're literally just speaking and you don't want to hear us.
And also the best part that some adult was like, we got to include this, is it was a thunderstorm, and anytime there was like crash of thunder and lightning, every kid would stop speaking and they would all just scream bloody murder and then immediately stop when it was done. And I was like, that's amazing.
That was so funny.
That's such a kid thing. Like, it's
they must
so
have had a blast filming this.
I hope so.
It felt like that. And then all of a sudden, cameo Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen.
Oh my god, yeah. Hey girls.
Talk about the 90s.
I mean, you could have just stayed on Full House, but come on into the sleepover.
Yeah. They're like, hey, here I am. It was just sprinkled with cameos everywhere. Cameo. But then after the sleepovers, it's the way I looked at it was like, they're like, well, we need a clubhouse.
Yeah.
And like, what do we do? And this made me laugh so hard that I don't know the order, but they went to like Home Depot.
Oh my god.
And
was this Norm from Cheers?
I think so.
Oh my god. Amazing.
Yes. And they go, we need this amount of wood. And he takes out like basically a toothpick and was like,
it's like
with
a
all of your
block.
coins. Yeah, this is what you could buy. And then Stymie goes, well, wood doesn't grow on trees,
It's fucking amazing. He's the best.
It's so good.
And then they're like, oh, this bank sign says instant loans. And then the movie's like,
God.
We know exactly who you're about to talk to. It's Mel Brooks, king of comedy. And this is
great.
This is the classic. And I wonder if this is where this originated from, was the original Little Rascals show. Was this like joke of kids on top of each other in a trench coat?
Yep.
And they do. And again, it sounds like it wouldn't be funny, but it's so fucking funny because they get in there and then the guy's like, here, have a seat. And Spanky goes, can we sit down? And Froggy underneath him goes, are you kidding me? And then Spanky goes, we can't sit down, sir. It's just so good. Oh my god.
It had the perfect balance of a real plot and silly in between.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so of course they get no money, and really their only shot is the go-kart, like the money that they get from the go-kart winnings. But for whatever reason, Buckwheat and Porky are watching the go-kart.
Well, okay. Porky and Buckwheat end up watching the go-kart because Alfalfa, who is watching it,
that's right,
is like, oh, oh, I have a hate note. Can you bring it to Darla? But really, it was like a love note, but he told them it was a hate note. They lose the note. So then Buckwheat goes, don't worry, I remember it, Darla.
Do you know that line? Dear Darla, I hate your stinking guts. You make me vomit. Your scum between my toes. Then Darla takes the soda can, and that's the moment she crushes it, and they all go, whoa! It's such an epic picture because she's in a ballet uniform and she just crushes the can.
It's just absolutely amazing.
Well, this whole film was made by a woman, I think. Directed by a woman. So I feel like it tracks.
It's the best. And so now, because Porky and Buckwheat messed up, they come back and they're like, yeah, she hates you. And then Alfalfa's like, ugh, I gotta fix it, blah. So somehow him and Spanky end up together going to Darla's ballet recital. And I think Spanky's like, this is where you'll break up with her, even though they're not dating because they're 4. But Alfalfa's like, totally. But in his head, he's like, I'm gonna like woo her. Obviously don't happen. And there's shenanigans with the bullies.
Well, the bullies come.
Now we get children cross-dressing. We all, oh my God, Bridge, like again, I'm like, this like drag queen idea of yours. I really want this to be a thing. This is a missed opportunity. Somebody's got to do this.
Coming down the pike, it's Spanky. And Petey. I'm just doing drag queen dances that are fabulous right now, folks.
They dress up as little ballerina girls. And you know what? Here, this is another fucking kudos to Darla. Darla is a girl's girl. Because girl version of Alfalfa and Spanky accidentally go in the same room as Darla and the other girls. And Darla is so fucking nice to them. And she's like, hey girls, nice to meet you. Come on down. Don't be nervous. Here's a hanky. And I'm like, that's fucking right, Darla. Support women. Also, share hankies if you're
Well,
willing.
Alfalfa goes, I'm so nervous, I'm sweating, and she's like, have my hanky, and then he like takes the like armpit sweat and like his nose and goes, here. She's like, you can keep it.
Yeah, I just like amazing.
You know what? Maybe this was about Darla, and we were just like, wow, Darla really was hilarious. They then just make up dancing, and the frickin' teacher, oh my God,
did
was
she
so
do
funny.
Like cocaine? Because I was sweating.
This is like an iconic actor.
She
Leah
was
Thompson.
in Howard the Duck.
Yeah, she's been in a ton of movies.
Well, she was in Back to the Future too.
Back to the Future.
Thompson?
No, Leah Thompson.
Leah Thompson, yes.
Just if anyone looks her up, is like, oh, I absolutely know that person. But she was really, really mad, and somehow his frog got stuck in his ballet tutu. And
there's a frog
laugh
too. Oh yeah.
Can I tell you though, the parents laughing at the kids? What was the teacher so mad about? I mean, everyone seemed happy.
I gotta be honest, Bridge, you know, not that I've been to a lot of children ballet recitals, but like,
yes, you have.
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure you're gonna have kids who don't know what's happening. So this isn't that out of the ordinary.
Do you remember our queen, Jenny, our niece?
I cried at that.
Crushed it to the Lion King.
I actually cried. I do remember that. Jenny knew the dance though. Of course. She knew the dance. So she would not have got kicked out. But yes, they get kicked out. This is another moment. Spanky and Alfalfa get separated. They run away. Something bullies. Somehow, from the less than 5 minutes of them leaving the ballet recital, and then somehow Alfalfa gets half naked and he's running through the streets and he runs into Waldo's mansion, does the fastest 50 freestyle swim I've ever seen in my goddamn life. This Olympic swimming pool. Like, he's a world record winner. And then he's in his undies in front of Darla and Waldo, and I don't know how they got here, and we don't care.
That scene, like, gave me a little creepy vibes because, like, they were, like, sitting, like, Darla and Waldo were in the pool, and they had, like, a fake cocktail, and I was just like, okay, that's, like, a little too, like, adultish,
like,
you know?
Show me your hands, Waldo, okay?
Gross.
Jesus.
But she's like, Alfalfa, I've never seen this side of you.
It's a great line. Yeah, and you know, while that is happening, Porky and Buckwheat are singing songs about pickles. They're talking about pickles. It's a 4-year-old conversation. I support everything about it. And then there's also a duck with a buck. And that's also something. Somebody says a line, they go, nothing beats a duck with a buck. And you're like, what the fuck? Sorry, now it's rhyming and I hate it. But essentially this leads to the bullies steal. No, the bullies don't steal the go-kart. Who steals the go-kart?
No, the bullies do.
Well, I think Alfalfa drives the go-kart to the fair because we get to the fair and this is where the Little Rascals are like, we have a great idea. We're going to do a... It's like a freak show to try to raise money, and it's called Spanky's Believe It or Else.
Oh my god, I love him. I love him.
Amazing. And that doesn't go well. So Porky and Buckwheat end up stealing a sign that says admission $3, and they sit in front of the talent show, and they earn $500.
Not bad. And
amazing.
That's when all of a sudden we see a cameo from Daryl
Hannah, girl, we had her in Kill Bill, Mrs. Crabtree.
What was she? She wasn't Black Mamba. What was her name? What was her like spy name?
Shit, it was like a snake. She's L Driver is like the character's name. She's got the eye patch.
Oh my god! But all of a sudden she's like, "Hi, children, you shouldn't be taking money." I was like, "Whoa, two totally different vibes."
Whoa,
from
you're not
Daryl
gonna kill
Hannah.
me? Whoa,
yeah, whoa.
She's great. Yeah, and now it's talent show time. And Bridge, what's the song that Darla and Waldo sing?
L is for the way you look at me. Sing it, Kate.
O is for the only one I see.
V is very, very, hit it.
Extraordinary, and
E
is
even more than
anyone
that you adore. The timing of that was going to be horrible. They were America's Got Talent Simons telling them they're winning. What do you think?
You know, and here's the thing. This is the one thing I'll say about Darla, but I'm also going to actually spin it and blame it on Waldo. Wasn't much of a duet, all right? He probably was like, yeah, we'll totally do it together, Darla. And then he's like, I'm singing all the lines. It's on me. And you'll just say one verse. And that's probably
I could see that
actually happened. But Darla looked great, and she was there, so cool. And Alfalfa rolls up, and he's like, I gotta win Darla back with my beautiful voice. We all know it's beautiful. Go team. And so he's literally like, Miss Crabtree, I'm getting the fuck in there. And she's like, okay, relax. This is like, a carnival talent show. I don't even know why this exists, but yeah, get in there. And he does what we've seen in the Little Rascals TV show, which is the same skit of bubbles coming out of his mouth when he sings.
But Waldo sabotaged him, right?
Yeah, so Waldo put some soap in his water or something stupid.
Because later on in the movie he's like, it was you!
You did
sabotaged
the bubbles!
It.
My God.
Oh my God.
Bridge, this is a good moment. Let me readjust for this. Okay.
I'm ready for it.
All right. This is an important moment. I admit, I feel like it's mainly for women. When Alfalfa comes out on stage, he doesn't just come out and start singing No Bridge. He does a monologue. And he's essentially doing a monologue like, this song is for the girl I love. And it's special lady and blah, blah, blah. And then he literally points out Darla. And she goes, please don't say my name. Please don't say my name. And he's like, it's for Darla. And she's like, no. And I may or may not have had this exact moment happen to me in my life. There were not bubbles. I don't know if it was a talent show technically, but it was a
what
boy.
Guy?
We won't name him.
Tell me though in the chat so I know who it was.
Okay. I don't think you know this person. It was not someone I ever dated, but they wanted to date.
How old were you?
So I was a freshman in college, but it was winter break, and this person was a senior in high school, and I went with a friend to a battle of the bands. So this was the singer of the band, and they're introducing themselves via monologue, and they say, all right, I got this song. This is about a very special person. This person, is off in college, and they mean a lot to me. And they're sitting right there in the audience and points to me and goes, it's Katie. Her name's Katie. And I'm not kidding. I had other friends there who immediately turned around and pointed and laughed at me as I was dying on the inside. And yeah.
My mouth, my jaw is to the floor. Wait,
This is
so
a true
do
story.
we not like him at all? Like, that was like the worst thing in the world?
I mean, it was embarrassing because I was like, oh God, no.
Wow.
We've never dated or even kissed, so somebody help. I gotta go.
Like, why not give a better heads up?
Why not do a monologue? I don't need the synopsis of your song.
What happened afterwards? Were you like, great song?
I was like, I gotta go.
Oh my God, you little Darla.
I was Darla. So
I honestly,
I can relate.
I bet, and then everyone's looking at you to react.
Well, they were all like,
just like,
and I was like,
oh my God. You're like, I have to go to the bathroom. Bye.
I might have done that.
Wow. I mean, that's kind of, you know what? You know how you talk icebreakers? That's a good icebreaker you should use.
Oh, yeah, my embarrassing moment? All right, cool. Remember that.
Well, you didn't, it wasn't your fault. It was someone else.
I know, but,
oh,
like Darla said, please don't say my name. Please don't say my name.
Oh my God. That is so awkies.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
just like my experience, this doesn't go well for Alfalfa.
Doesn't go well.
Darla goes, oh, I hate you, Alfalfa, and then she stomps away. And then Alfalfa's in bigger trouble because he also had the go-kart get stolen because he left it.
He's screwing up left and right.
And then Spanky and him get in a big fight, and now they're not friends. And this is our third act breakup.
Well, and this was really when even the He-Man Woman Haters Club were like, you guys gotta figure it out. You guys are the two bestest pals.
It's, once again, Stymie, the award-winning, member of the club, is
Emotional Intelligence Award
trying to
Stymie.
talk sense into them. And he goes, you guys have been friends since you were one. Like, get over it, basically. And they're like, shut up, Stymie. And he's like, ugh, whatever. I'm over it.
Honestly, it was adorable because they both had, like, heartfelt apologies.
They did. And then this is where Alfalfa goes, listen, Spanky, I like girls, and it's gonna get worse. This is how he says it. And then he kind of says, couldn't we be a club because we like something? Which I was like, that is very insightful.
Yeah.
And yes, that is what clubs should be. They shouldn't be to, like, put down. They should be to lift up. I don't know.
A quote from Stymie is, you only meet your once-in-a-lifetime friends. Once in a lifetime.
I just, like... He's wise beyond his years, honestly.
Do you think he's just doing, like, TED Talks now? Like, should we go look him up?
I hope so.
Oh
Sincerely hope so. We miss you, Stymie.
Wow.
But now that we made up, because we had to get in a fight for 5 minutes of the movie, thank God we're past it. Now the plot is we got to build a new go-kart because we got to win the go-kart race because now there's money that we technically earned, but we didn't earn, and we got to win.
If they're going to have a club name, it should be We Know How to Engineer Go-Karts. Because this was amazing.
Engineering and trash picking and possible theft.
No,
I don't
lots
know.
of theft. They stole the laundry machine.
Oh, yes.
Engine.
They sure did.
And I don't think that's right. But here we are.
Here we are. So they do build a go-kart, and now it's the race time. And Bridget, who's our cameo that we get, the good cameo, the one we like. The announcer. Who's the announcer?
The best driver, AJ Ferguson, played by Reba McEntire.
A single mom who works 2 jobs, who loves her kids and never stops. That's
How
Reba.
does she pick her movies? Because this woman shows up in Tremors.
Well,
this woman shows up in Little Rascals.
What year was Tremors? Was this a Rascals Tremors year for her? What was going on?
Tremors was way before this, but like, I feel like, right? But I just feel like she has the most random movie
Fucking love
cameo
her.
ever.
Thank God she's there. And I'm like, Reba, we love to see you.
I was just gonna say, love to see you.
Love to see you. Everything you do is great. Then we get to see, the bullies have the blur that they like painted.
Yeah.
There's other weird go-karts. Waldo rolls up in, I'm not kidding, a Space Mountain from Disneyland like car. like literally what you sit in for Space Mountain is his go-kart. It's a lot. I don't know.
It looks like a silver penis, if we're being honest.
Oh God, do you think that was symbolism?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It might have been because should we say who his dad is?
Just get it off our chest, because this actually somewhat ruined my mood when I was enjoying this movie.
Okay. This was early 90s. This was very similar to Home Alone 2, y'all.
Waldo is all of a sudden picking out his cell phone right before the race and calls his dad in the stands, and his dad is Trump.
And I said, Waldo, your dad is a rapist and a con artist. And it makes sense.
We use Voldemort rules, and we should never name it. But in this case, I feel like we had to name it because nobody would know what we're talking about. But it was like, it just feels like the Donnie Darko timeline, like something is wrong.
Yeah.
And like, because...
Like we need the wormhole to show up.
We need the wormhole to show up and go back in time, and then everything is like better. But that was jarring, but I mean, very much reality. I mean, just always popping up in movies being like, my personality is being rich.
I also think, there are infinite number of red flags, but in the bloopers section, which takes place over the credits, they show, we'll call it bloopers, but I think this was just, we're living our life. That man, his blooper is he steals popcorn from the person next to him, which I don't think was scripted. I genuinely believe he was like, oh, I want that and it's mine. And that's how I live my life. And fuck you. Put it in his mouth, didn't like it, and then spits it out, likely landing on people in front of him, and then laughs. And it's just like, it's just a metaphor. I mean, the signs were there. The signs have always been there. They're still there. There's too many.
It's too many. And I just was like, everything about this movie was perfect up until this point. Because this is like our job, right? We go back in time and we're like, did it hold up?
Yeah.
And this did. And then there's just this one, like, it's like 2 seconds. I was like, ugh. And then moving on. So let's move on.
But the movie was like, don't worry, we've got our ringer. Buckwheat and Porky roll up, and Buckwheat goes, look, my mom's here. And Porky goes, whoopee. And it's Whoopi Goldberg. Doesn't say words, literally just waves. That's her fucking cameo.
So it's the Little Rascals, the under the chin wave that they all do. Oh, apparently that's like an inside joke.
I love that.
Like all the film director would do that to them, and so they just like did that in their normal thing, and then they integrated it into the film. Isn't that cute?
That's so cute.
So Whoopi Goldberg did her little little rascal waves.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. So whatever, we get that, and then the race starts, and Spanky and Alfalfa are on their go-kart. It's like 2 people per go-kart, I guess. So there's hootenanny shenanigans. Somebody hit a sign, and then we're all going in the wrong place. Adults almost get run over. There's a lot of 3 ninjas stunts, a lot of diving in the air, 3 ninjas, surf ninjas, Teenage Mutant Ninjas, like all the 90s ninja movie jumps happen here.
I feel like maybe it was the year trampolines were big, and every action star was like,
hey, I brought this trampoline to satire on the kids, and the adults are like, perfect, we'll use
every stunt. It looked like they just bounced on a trampoline. It was so stupid.
Flying in the air. And yes, this is where Waldo starts showing his true, this is another lesson for us all. And we've all been in this situation if you're, a heterosexual woman dating a man, where you have an experience where that man shows his true colors and you're like, oh God, the honeymoon's over. Oh God, it's terrible.
Yeah.
And this is where Waldo is. And he goes, women don't have any sense of direction. God, you're so annoying. Blah, blah. Blue, you're a lady, shut up. And then she's like, fuck you, pull over.
I loved
it. Okay, so I thought Darla got out of the go-kart.
Well, that was the little secret twist, is I think we all thought she'd say, pull over, I'm getting out. Okay. But I think when she did that, what we didn't see, because they both were dressed the same. So
they were dressed the same.
So what people didn't see is basically she just cussed him out and said, get the fuck out of this penis mobile, I'm on my way.
She's like, I'm taking over the penis mobile.
I loved it. She was like, oh, you got a great sense of direction? Find your way home, bitch.
I mean, she left him on the side of the road.
Yo, if we do the scary movie blooper, like whatever we do with scary movies, that would be a great scene to show what actually happened of her like cussing him out. That'd be great.
Just a 6-year-old.
We add AI crazy. To it.
Oh God, like, no, not the Matrix.
Fuck you, blah blah blah.
Oh God, but you know what, Bridge? Despite all the sabotage, and we almost lose Darla's hanky, and it's crazy. Alfalfa and Spanky, they win. They win by a hair. They win by Alfalfa's hair.
It is perfect.
Winner by a hair.
Because he's going and he's like, I can't finish this race without Darla's hanky on our front of our go-kart.
Oh my God.
And so because he was up there, and then he falls forward and his little dinky flop hair came through. Oh my God, I just laughed so hard.
Winner by a hair.
Perfect.
Amazing. And then
Perfect.
Froggy comes over and he goes, let's give them all a smoley-oli! Smoley-oli!
Smoley-oli! Wow, he really made up to some of those.
Just like some straight gibberish. Oh, God. And this is where, yes, we get the Darla reveal. Fucking Spanky goes, I want to recruit this man Waldo for our He-Man Woman Haters Club. He's a pal. And then Darla's like, bitch, it's me.
Listen, they were on fire, smoke in their eyes. Alfalfa was terrified. Spanky didn't know what to do, and she pulled out a fire hydrant.
She fucking
and helped
did.
them.
That's a multitasking girl right there.
And then they is like, hey guys, it's me. And they couldn't believe it. But they did, they were like, oh, well, thank you. Like, they were, like, not, like, still mean and weird to her. Yes. They both were like, oh, I am wrong. You're like, yes. Keep going.
You were.
Keep going.
Women are people, too. Surprise. Reba McEntire's like, hip hip hooray, here's your fucking money. And then we get another, like, female empowerment, I guess, moment where Spanky's like, well, I wish I could beat AJ Ferguson. And she goes, well, honey, you're in luck, because I'm AJ. Wow. And then Spanky's like, women driving cars, crazy. And I was like, why didn't Spanky know that already? It's fine. Yep. And this is where it's now the He-Man Woman Haters Club / Women Are Welcome. It's just...
Well, and then you get these weird cameos that, like, now they have, like, girlfriends.
And Raven Simone is there with Stymie. Good pick, Raven, I gotta say. You picked the best one out of them.
Excuse me? Yeah. 10 out of 10, Kate. 10 out of 10. Sorry. It's fun, minus the one horrible person that shows up, but, like, literally it's a good time.
It's a good time, and I just think it's so funny.
Well, and I kind of thought some of the lines would be old in the sense of, like, they would use old terminology or they would kind of reference things that were not PC or whatever. No!
Yeah.
They just kept it to, like, innocent kid stuff, and it was great.
Yeah.
I enjoyed seeing them all also dressed up so professionally in these little, like, suits and dresses.
So cute.
It gave, like, Shirley Temple vibes.
Yeah. My God, the one girl, like, looked like her. She looked like Shirley Temple and Glenn Close mixed together.
Wow.
Do you know the girl I'm talking about? Because I feel like, yes, you know, right? It, like, that's what she looked like.
I do, but what a reference.
Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, Bridge, I would watch. Would you watch? Would you watch with Kate one day? You think one day?
I would definitely watch with Kate. Aww. And I would just be like, I want you to pay attention to Darla, and we're going to play this movie.
And,
let's go.
It's Women's History Month in March, so everybody get ready. We're going to have some education, yes. Oh, wow. Well, it's my pick next.
It is.
And Bridge, it's been a minute since so last year, I think it was like right at the start of last year, 2023, we had kind of started this thing called our Nostalgic Happy Hour. The long-term listeners, you know what's up. That was where we were dedicating the episode at the end of the month to something that was not nostalgic. Nostalgic. So that could be a movie, a TV show, maybe a recent event, blah, blah. And hey, we kind of already mentioned it, but yeah, Bridget and I are going to be at Sundance. And Bridge, I would like our next episode to be a nostalgic happy hour, and I want to talk Sundance. I think we're going to do Sundance.
We'll sprinkle
Sundance
the movies we saw.
Yes.
We'll sprinkle who we met.
Yes.
We'll sprinkle the outfits. We'll sprinkle the stories. Will Katie slip in the snow because she brought the wrong shoes? Probably.
Yes. And also I'm going to try skiing for the first time in my life. So will my legs come back unbroken? I don't know.
If this episode is delayed, we got hurt. Wish us luck, all right?
Yeah.
Wish us luck. Okay?
If I can't walk, you know why. Yes.
And it's your birthday, Katie.
Oh, it is.
So, so this will be after. So this is a happy belated birthday to you. But technically, it didn't happen.
And it will also be baby Kate's belated birthday.
Yeah!
And it will be Moses' belated birthday. We're all birthday buddies. And our niece Jenny.
I love it.
Aquariuses rule the world, girls. Even though Kate's not an Aquarius, but we can adopt her. It's fine.
She's the last day before, so it's close enough. We did it.
Well, Bridge, I just want to say.
Yes, Stymie.
I just want to say. You only get one best friend. Once
you
a
only
lifetime
get
friend.
once in a lifetime sister. Once in a lifetime.
You know, wood doesn't grow on trees. And don't execute 6-year-old. Yeah. No, Bridge, I just want to say, if baby Kate gets recruited to be in a go-kart race with a Waldo.
Wow.
And, she then abandons him on the side of the road. We're going to assume she curses him out. We're going to assume she lets someone else win because she's like, a nice person. I'm going to then buy her a trophy. And I'm going to say you are the He-Man Haters Club president now. And I love you. And stand up for yourself. So... yeah.
I love that, obviously, and you're the best auntie and sister and person. If I were to kind of think of something that you would like out of this movie, I'm having a hard time because you seem to like all of it.
Yeah, I like the lines the most. I just think the writing is very clever.
So maybe that's what I would do, is I would hire Stymie today as a 37-year-old.
Oh, God.
Get him to find out what concert you're going to.
Wow.
And then tell the lead singer to point to you and say, this song is for you. And then Stymie comes out and stops the concert and then proceeds to tell the whole audience how these things should never happen, but he actually had planned it. What do you think?
This is a PSA for us all. This is an embarrassing moment.
And then he hands you his card and leaves.
Well, I don't know if the lead singer of Third Eye Blind dedicates a song to me. I don't think I'd feel upset about that. Actually, I think I'd faint
is that
on
your
the
next
spot,
concert?
So,
Sweet.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, nice.
Oh, well, listeners, if you also love. If you love Darla, because you should love her. She's a great role model. She's a great 6-year-old role model. We don't have a lot of those, so
we don't.
Give credit where it's due. And if you think Stymie is the smartest of the Little Rascals, should be doing something where he's speaking and giving advice, voice of reason. We need a Stymie in our lives. Go Stymie.
Yeah.
And if you think the best part of this fucking movie is when Buckwheat goes, look, my mom's here. And Porky goes, Whoopi, and it's Whoopi Goldberg, because no other movie can make that joke, Bridge. You can't remake that joke.
Well, I'm like, what came first, the joke or Whoopi?
I don't know. I hope both, because it's just fucking amazing.
Oh my God, amazing.
Listeners, if you love all that, you should write us a review.
Do it.
We love
Write
reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts, along with some other podcasting apps. And we also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. On our website, you can request a movie. Was this movie a request?
Oh my God! It was a listener pick.
Oops,
We're the worst.
We did it again. Forgot the listener. Just dove in the plot.
Hey, oh baby, baby.
Oops.
This listener, his name is Chris.
Ooh,
and I'm sorry that we forgot to say, Chris, how are you? This was all about you.
Chris.
Can you edit that in the beginning,
Chris,
Kate?
it was all about you. Did you know? It's mainly about Darla, but it's also about you.
Chris, I'm so sorry we just bashed on men, but it's for you, listener Chris.
No.
Maybe Chris is not a man. Who am I to judge? Anyways, love you.
Chris, thank you for the recommendation, because
there is another great one
on.
that Chris recommended that I think we should also look into. So,
all right, well, it's on the list. So excellent.
Oops, we should have brought that up earlier. Whoopsie,
okay,
whoopsie.
so back to there is a part of our website where you can request a movie, just like Chris did for Little Rascals. You fill out a form, your recommendation goes on the list, and we will do it eventually. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
They can give us money. It's just sending sisters money. And it just says donate coffee. It's just money. And then there is merchandise where if you want to wear our gear, rep us, check that out. Okay? It's on there too.
Yes,
Enjoy.
so check all that out, listeners. And we hope to hear from you. All right. Well, we'll see you next week to recap Sundance, our experience.
Dun, 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 dun. See you there. Bye, pal.
See ya, pal. Bye-bye.
You are so beautiful to me. Bye-bye. I love you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswho'veseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.